This is Joe Land. I want to share a story with you today about teamwork and just working together for success. A lot of people ask me to tell this story, and so I decided to put it on video so that other people could share it. But when I was a young man, my dream was to play professional baseball, and I grew up in a poor family, and Dad worked in a textile mill and so forth. And I remember every day my dad would come home, he was tired and so forth, but he would play ball with me every afternoon, and he would tell me things like, he would edify me, he would affirm me, he would say, son, you can make it to the big leagues one of these days, and I believed him. And so that was my path as a young man. And all along the way, there are always going to be naysayers in your life. People would say things like, oh man, nobody from our town ever made the big leagues, and you're not going to make it either. And because they're not vindictive in saying that, it's just what they know how to say. And so you either receive it or not receive it. My father would not allow me to receive it because he kept affirming me. And so one day, cool story, one day my mom called me at our high school. Here I'm a senior in high school. My mom calls me at high school, and she says, the principal calls me to the office. I think I'm in trouble. I go to the office, and lo and behold, he says, your mom's on the phone. And he said, do you mind if I stay here and listen while you talk to her? Well, back then we didn't have cell phones, where you could talk to your parents, like we do today. But and so I sat there, and my mom said, son, she said, we just got a letter in the mail from the Los Angeles Dodgers, and they have just drafted you in the Major League Baseball draft. And man, I was excited. And so I went home that day, I'll never forget. And my father was seeing people, and around town people were starting to talk about it, and people were saying things, we knew you were going to do it. And so instead of signing with the Dodgers, I opted to go to University of South Carolina and play there. And I'll never forget, this is a story I want you to hear because it talks so much about teamwork and the importance of having the right people around you. I'll never forget, I was getting ready to pitch my first game at the University of South Carolina. And I want you to kind of get into the game, and ladies, forgive me for talking about sports, but I think you'll enjoy this too. But just kind of feel the moment. I was throwing my warm-up pitches. Here I am, a highly recognized athlete. I've trained for this moment, and so I throw my warm-up pitches that day, and the catcher throws it down to second base, to start the inning. And so I look over to third base for the ball, and there's no ball. I look over to first base for the ball, there's no ball. And so here comes the catcher out with the ball, Dan Scarper. He's a big All-American, from Scarsdale, New York. And actually, as a freshman, I was a little bit afraid of him, And so I'm thinking, what have I done wrong now? And so he's coming out to me with the ball, right? And he looks at me through that big face mask and that chest protector and those muscles popping out. And he drops that ball in my glove, and he says, kid, this is the moment that you waited for all your life. This is it. This is what you've trained for. This is it. He drops that ball in my glove, and he looks in my eyes, and he said, give him the heat. And he turns around to go back to home plate, and gosh, even as I tell this story, the butterflies were just, I could have almost been lifted off of the pitcher's mound that day. And so the first batter comes into the batter's box, boom, we strike him out, 3 in a row. And we walk off the field. Next inning, I strike out 3 in a row again. Third inning, 3 in a row again. 9 batters in a row. People are going crazy. And so, I don't know why it works this way, but in baseball, when you're having a great game, the rest of the team doesn't talk to you. You're sitting down on the bench by yourself. Again, I don't know why it works that way, but that's the way it does. And so we're getting ready to go out for the 4th inning. Dan Scarper comes walking toward me, my catcher, clankety, clankety, clank. And he looks at me and he says, kid, he said, you got great stuff today. He said, you just give me good location. If somebody happens to hit one, there are 8 of us out there on the field besides you. We have a great team behind you to be successful. He said, you're going to win this game today. You're going to win your first game today. And so you just give me good location on the pitch. And I thought about that. We did win that game that day. I won my first game at the University of South Carolina, and we had a great team. But I think about that now in my life. It's important to have a team of people around you. It's very important to have a team of people around you. And that day, when people did hit one, and they did hit them that day. Well, I think I struck out 16 batters that day. I really had good stuff. But a few people hit them. And when they hit them, there was a team around me to support me, to help me have success and win that game. We won as a team. And so what I want to help you learn how to do is the same concept of that story. I want to help you be a part of a team that'll help you have success. It's so important when you get involved in a business to have a team of people around you to help you have success. I think that's the key. You don't have to do everything yourself. You don't have to invent everything yourself. You don't have to think of everything yourself. You don't have to create everything yourself. You just have to have the right team, the right ingredient to be success. You have that dream in your heart. We want to help you achieve that dream. And so I have a team of people around me who will help you be successful. And that's what I help you do.